Welcome to our webinar, Helping Your Students Start on the Path to Success. My name is Christine Self, Director for Parent and Family Relations, and I'll serve as the moderator for today's session. This webinar is part of our Parent and Family webinar series, where we share information on topics of interest to Red Raider families. With us today are Megan Ullman and Nicole Terrell from Student Engagement. We are very excited to have you joining us today. We hope this webinar will shine some light on many of the wonderful resources that Texas Tech has to offer to help your students start off their college career successfully, as well as answer some of your questions as they're getting started. Feel free to use the Zoom Q&A feature to ask questions throughout the webinar. We should have some time at the end to answer some of your questions live, and we can also type answers to your questions using the Zoom Q&A feature. We are recording this session and posting it to our website, so that you'll be able to review it again later or share it with others. I'll also email the recording link to the email that you used to register for today's webinar. Classes are about to begin at Texas Tech. Today's webinar will help you answer some of your questions about how your Red Raider can start off the semester strong. We will talk about student engagement opportunities, housing and hospitality reminders, tutoring and academic resources, and student health and wellness information. I'll get us started with some information on how you can get connected with Texas Tech, as well as support your student. So first of all, hopefully you've already connected with Parent and Family Relations. We are your office on campus to answer all of your questions related to Texas Tech. So feel free to reach out to us at any time. I want you to make sure that you're registered for our free Parent and Family e-newsletter. You can visit our website, which is just parent.ttu.edu. Also, make sure that you're following us on social media. Our newsletter comes out once a month, and we'll also share out other things that happen between newsletters on our social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And call us with questions. We are open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and we're more than happy to take your questions. We'll also, I promise you, a person will answer the phone when you call us. And then if 8 to 5 doesn't work for you, just send us an email and we'll get back to you just as soon as we can. But again, we really want to connect with you. We want to partner with you to help make your students successful. And we do that by sharing great information to keep you informed. We also hope that you will come visit your student during the fall semester. We have Family Weekend that's coming up on October 28th through 29th. It's going to be a great time on campus. The fall weather is generally very beautiful here. So be sure and make your plans now if you'd like to attend. You can visit the Family Days website and already purchase your discounted football tickets for the weekend and see the schedule. The schedule's not completed yet, but we're adding things to it every day. So just know some of the things that will happen during Family Weekend is the Texas Tech Parents Association will host a Friday night dinner. You can purchase tickets directly from their website. You can also go to their tailgate on Saturday morning. And of course, we'll have the football game with Baylor. Going to be really exciting. Those are some ticketed events, but there's also lots of free things happening during Family Weekend. On Friday afternoon, Parent and Family Relations will host a free ice cream social. There will be free tailgating offered by Texas Tech Athletics prior to the game. There's just lots of things to do. So we really hope that you'll come and visit. Now, we recognize that this particular weekend is not going to fit in everyone's schedule. So we also have what we call Family Days, and that's any time that you want to visit Texas Tech and see your student. We have a complete calendar at the same website that you can view, where we have personally selected some activities that are family friendly and fun for you, your students, and any other children that you may have at home. So some of the ideas for that would be the First Friday Art Trail. This happens the first Friday of every month in Lubbock. It's a great time to go out and see the Lubbock community and get to know the art scene a little bit. Students absolutely love this event, and it's a great way to get your student feeling comfortable getting out off of campus and out into the community. We also have Carol of Lights this year, December 2nd. If you came to orientation, you probably heard us talk about it, but it's going to be a really fun time this year and the kickoff of Texas Tech's 100th anniversary. So those are just a couple of examples of things that we put on our Family Days calendar for you. And then also, it may seem a little bit early to be thinking about Thanksgiving. Many of your students have not even moved in just yet, but this is a great opportunity to get your student home for Thanksgiving. We work with a company called Break Shuttle. Not sure why that switched. There we go. We work with a company called Break Shuttle to get students home to Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, and El Paso for Thanksgiving. So whether you plan to take advantage of this bus trip or get your student a plane ticket, it's very important to go ahead and get that, that figured out, how you're going to do it. Right now, the tickets are not on sale, but you can visit this website and get signed up for updates and a 10% discount off of your seats. While I'm on the subject of Thanksgiving, it's important to know that the academic calendar at Texas Tech states that the Thanksgiving holiday will start on Wednesday, November 23rd. So that means your students' classes may meet through Tuesday, November 22nd. So this is a good reminder to bookmark that academic calendar. The easiest way to find it is to just Google TTU academic calendar, and then you can see all the official dates. Sometimes students will say we're off for the entire week for Thanksgiving, and that's not the case. All right, next I'm going to turn it over to Nicole, who's going to talk about some really exciting opportunities for your student.
We're so excited, like Christine said, to have your students here on our campus. Some of them may already be here and some may still be moving in or moving in soon. Raider Welcome is 2 weeks, actually, I think it's around 3 weeks this year. We started on August 12th and we'll go through September 3rd. And it is just fun and free events to help welcome students to campus, you know, our new and returning. We have over 160 events on our calendar this year that they can check out and keep updated with through our Team Up app and on our website, www.raiderwelcome.ttu.edu. At these events, they can meet other students, learn about our campus, how to navigate it, the resources that we have, connect with faculty, staff, and other individuals, including their, you know, classmates or roommates. So they're just fun and free events designed to help them get acquainted and welcome to our campus. One of the events that Parent and Family Relations does is back to school photos. Tell your students to stop by the gazebo outside the sub. It's on August 25th between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. The sub is an area that students often frequent, and so hopefully they have a class around the area. You can just pop in and take that back to school photo. I know that you all will appreciate having that, and surely they will too. We have some staple Raider Welcome events that the Department of Student Engagement puts on. Those are Hub City Fest and Raider Roundup. Hub City Fest is an event to help welcome students to Lubbock. We know that they're not just new to Texas Tech, but a lot of them are also new to Lubbock. And so we have an event that helps them learn what there is to do here and get connected with the community. We will have, I think it's 86 businesses is where we're at right now. And they're going to set up in booths in a parking lot behind the Student Union building. And they'll be there to give away prizes. They may have interactive things like cornhole or a spin wheel or things like that at their booth. They'll have coupons, be plugging their social media or talking about job opportunities. All kinds of things are going to be going on at these different 86 booths that we will have. And surely they're going to learn lots of things to do here in the city of Lubbock. So this is going to be on Friday, August 26th. Classes start on Thursday, the 25th. And then on Friday, that evening is when Hub City Fest happens. So it's from 7 to 9 p.m. Behind the Student Union building. And your students should receive email communication from us about this event. And it can also be found on our website, hubcityfest.ttu.edu. Raider Roundup is another event designed to help welcome our students to class. It's really a celebration of the beginning of their academic career at Tech. And then we also have our returning students come to this event as well. It is going to be an outdoor party in the park, basically. They can, bring a blanket or bring a towel and sit out on the park. We're going to have live music going on a big stage there. We'll have yard games. There will be volleyball and basketball courts nearby. And they can get free Whataburger and Tiff's Treats cookies. And really, again, just meet other students and kind of ease their nerves before that first full week of classes that is happening that following week. Raider Roundup happens on Sunday, August 28th from 7 to 9. And they can find information on that on the Raider Welcome calendar, and they'll also be sent emails about this event as well. So help your students stay up to date. We have lots of information that we communicate out to them, us in student engagement, but also other departments like financial aid or student business services, their professors. So it is really important to get your student checking their Texas Tech email. That is our best way of communicating with them. And so encourage them to be checking that. They can set it up to where they access it from their cell phones. But lots of important information will be coming their way, fun stuff, but also important things like paying your bill or, hey, classes were canceled. They want to know about those things. Also, follow us on social media at TTU Engagement. We post lots of things on our social media. We like to be like a hub for information about Texas Tech. And so they can learn, about all the Raider Welcome events going on or resources and their events going on throughout the year. We do fun giveaways. We give tips and tricks, talk about going to your first football game or things like that. So be sure to follow us on social media. And they can also check us out on YouTube. We've got some awesome vlogs that will help ease their nerves and transition them into life at Texas Tech.
Thanks,
and now we'll
Nicole.
hear from Megan. So,
oh,
sorry,
yeah,
Megan.
great. Okay, thanks so much. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of other important information, particularly related to housing and hospitality. So one of the important things to know is that the last day to make a change to your student's meal plan is the 20th class day of the semester, and that's September 22nd. So the important thing to know is that dining bucks can be added at any time. So if your student runs out of money after September 22nd, you can always add dining bucks. It's just that due date is the actual deadline to make a change to the specific meal plan and to change to a different one. I think they have 3 different levels. So you can always add dining bucks. We always encourage students to keep an eye on that. A lot of them, this is their first chance that they've had to start budgeting a little bit and realizing that getting, a $4 or $5 smoothie every morning and a $6 coffee in the afternoon is going to run through those dining bucks really quick. And so we look at this as a great opportunity to start practicing that. You can visit hospitality.ttu.edu for more information about how to change that meal plan. Another thing that we get a lot of questions about is how students can make a request if they need something fixed in their room, if they have a problem. There is a request form, the Fix It request form, located on the housing webpage. It's housing.ttu.edu. So that's a great way for students to submit work orders and to be able to request to have somebody come and take care of that. Another thing that's really helpful to know about on the housing website is the mailing address generator. And this is a great way to send your student mail and packages. Even though we are, in a very technological generation, there is something fun about receiving a package in the mail from your parents. So you can just go on the website and click on current residence and then haul addresses and mailing information. And you'll get that about how you can send a package directly to your students. I saw a question in the Q&A about whether commuter students need a dining plan, and I can go ahead and answer that, Christine. We always encourage students to get a dining plan because one reason is they get a discount in the dining halls when they use their Raider card for meals. And so some of the halls even have up to a 50% discount on some of their food items with that commuter plan. And so it makes it really convenient for students to be able to just come and swipe their card. Now, it really, of course, depends on the student's schedule. If they're not on campus during a mealtime, they would prefer to just pack snacks, things like that. It may not be beneficial to have that dining plan, but it's something that if your student is commuting, to something to consider that might be helpful for you and your student to add. If you haven't already done this, if you're haven't moved in yet, we recommend that you visit the one-stop shop. So it's happening in Holden Hall, which is a big building on campus. It's pretty centrally located. And what's great about that is, I know at orientation, we had the campus resource fair. You could go around and talk to everybody. But there is a lot of information during orientation, and you might need to re-ask some of those questions. And so we partnered with financial aid and student business services to have literally a one-stop shop. So you can come take care of any questions that you have for student business services and for financial aid. They are here just serving students who are moving in, as well as get a bunch of information about other departments on campus. So housing is there, hospitality is there, we're there, other resources from all over campus. And so it's a great opportunity to get some new information, refresh on some information that you may have missed during orientation, especially while taking care of that financial aid and business services questions that you may have. So speaking of financial aid, I know it seems crazy that we're already talking about the next year's school year, but we also want to let you know about an important date to remember. The FAFSA opens up on October 1st for the 2023-2024 academic year. Funds sometimes for certain things do come out on a first come, first serve basis. So we always encourage you to fill out that FAFSA as early as possible. And you can visit financialaid.tt.edu for even more information about that. So with that, I am going to turn it back over to Christine to kind of wrap up some of our important fall semester information.
Thank you, Megan. One of the most important things, obviously, with your students' first semester and being successful is going to be academics. And so we want you to know that there are lots of really great resources to help your students be successful. Now, they're probably not going to need these right off the bat as soon as classes start, but at some point in the semester, your student may discover that they may need some tutoring. They may need some additional support for their classes. So up here on the screen, you can see 4 really great resources to help. So the first is the Learning Center, and they offer free tutoring in almost any subject that a first-year student would need, and even some upper-level courses as well. So their website will have their tutoring schedule. If it's not already there, it will be posted shortly as classes begin. And students can drop in for tutoring. There's even some online resources for them about time management, study skill tips, lots of great information to help your student be successful. The Learning Center also offers supplemental instruction, which are study sessions that are led by a student working directly with a faculty member to make sure that concepts that may give students a little bit of trouble are covered. So supplemental instruction is not available for every class, but it's available for some. So make sure that your student checks that out. There may also be tutoring right there in your student's residence hall through our residential tutoring program. So have your student visit that website and check their schedule and what tutoring is available there. Say your student is, maybe writing is just not their forte. Writing essays is one of the most scary assignments to your student. We have the University Writing Center who can provide some excellent assistance with writing, from figuring out the right topic to doing some editing and help with grammar. The Writing Center can help. They can do individual sessions with a person, in person, or your student can even submit some questions and some of their writing online and get some electronic feedback on it. And then finally, Student Disability Services is a great resource for your students should they need any accommodations due to a disability. I always recommend that students visit Student Disability Services early and provide the documentation needed to get their classroom accommodations early in the semester. Sometimes students want to wait or feel like they don't need to worry about it, or feel like they're going to try to do college without the accommodations. But it's better to get those accommodations set and taken care of before the middle of the semester when things might get a little hectic during midterms. So those are just some of the resources available. If you find that your student is taking a course where there is not tutoring offered by the Learning Center, for example, maybe it's an upper level course somewhere, that doesn't mean that there's not tutoring available. I would have the student check with that academic department and see what resources that they recommend. And I see a question that's popped up. I'll go ahead and answer it. When are midterms? So there's a midterm period, and it's usually in October in the fall semester, but it's really going to be determined by the faculty member of each particular class. You can see on the academic calendar when midterm grades are due. What that means is that is the time that faculty members must submit midterm grades, whether they had a midterm exam or not. For first semester students, a midterm grade is required to be posted by the faculty member. So it's a good idea as a parent or family member to go to that academic calendar, find out what that date is. And if someone knows it, let's put it in the chat. I can look it up here in a minute. Know that date, and then just ask your student, hey, how are your midterm grades? Let's talk about them, because that's a really good way to check on their progress. So that was a really good question. All right, keep those questions coming. Some other important things to know, again, to keep your student successful, it's important to support their health and wellness. And so I've got on the screen here now for you some student health and wellness resources that can really help your students maintain their personal health and well-being. So the first is Student Health Services. They are a full service clinic with licensed physicians and a pharmacy. So be sure and check their services out. They accept almost any major insurance as well, but if you're not certain, contact them and just find out. So that's an excellent resource that's, again, right here on campus for your student. If you haven't already, make sure that your student knows what their medical history is. Can your student walk into a doctor's appointment right now and make sure that they know, what that medical history is? Can they fill out all those forms that you're asked to fill out at a doctor's office? So those are some conversations to have with your student as they're getting started. Student Counseling Center is also an excellent resource that provides mental health counseling in group, individual, and even online settings. So if your student's experiencing anxiety, depression, or stress, the Student Counseling Center is there to help. They're also located within our Student Wellness Center right on campus. And then the RISE office. RISE stands for Risk Intervention and Safety Education. And they are the group on campus that educates our campus community about things like alcohol and drug use, healthy sexual relationships, sexual violence, some of those things that are very important as far as keeping our campus community safe. Their website is incredibly full of resources, including a whole section on campus safety. So if your student wants to know about campus safety tips and how to stay safe on campus, that website's an excellent go-to. I also want you to make sure that you're aware that we have the TTU Crisis Helpline. Students can access this helpline 365 days a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. That number is printed on the back of their ID. They can even call that number if they're not on campus. So that's available to help them in any sort of crisis. So that's a good number to know. And I know we've just shared a lot of information. I see a lot of questions popping up in the Q&A, so please keep those coming. And we will be here to answer those for you. I see where someone has asked a question about counseling, and it asked us, do students get a set number of counseling sessions per semester included in their tuition and fees? And the answer to that is no, there's not a set number of sessions. Students will go to the counseling center and they'll have an intake appointment. And from that intake appointment, the student counseling center will work with your student to determine what their needs are. They may be able to help them on campus through a certain number of sessions. They may need to refer the student to off campus. So really, that really depends on the needs of the student. Let me see if I can find the answer to that question about midterms, when they will be posted. Let's see.
Christine, I had been searching for that and I found it. It looks like they are due October 27th.
Perfect, thank you. So
yeah,
October 27th is the date that faculty must post midterm grades, and all first semester students should have midterm grades posted by their faculty members. So after, not that day, but after October 27th, that's a good time to ask your students how their midterm grades are looking. I also have a question here that I'm seeing. Where can we get the TTU preferred forms for power of attorney for medical emergencies? The resource for that is going to be our student legal services team, and I can find their, I can put their website in the chat. They do medical power of attorney workshops during the first part of the semester, so that's a really good office to know, and I'll get that in the chat for you, but that's through student legal services. Excellent question. What other questions do you have? We have about 2 more minutes left. While you're doing that, one question that we always get is, you know, how am I going to get the recording for this session? If you want to review it or if you want to share this information with your student, I will email this link out to you since you've registered for our webinar, and then we'll also post it on our website. And then there's a question about the Student Wellness Center. Are they open? Yes, they are open. Your students can access that. I believe they're open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. So that brings up a good point. If your student gets ill on a Saturday or Sunday, they're going to need to find some local resources. So keep that in mind as well. But the Wellness Center is already open. Can you use your own medical power of attorney? That would be a question for student legal services. And I believe medical power attorney forms are, they're all good. It's just the ones here at Texas Tech, they can help you with it or help your student with filling those out. All right, well, we are about out of time. I would really like to thank our presenters today, Nicole and Megan. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for sharing this wonderful information with our parents and family members of our students. Thank you for spending your time this afternoon getting to learn about some of these resources. And I've got our contact information up on the screen for you. Should you ever have any questions, please do reach out. We're here to help. At this time, I will stop the recording and stop our video. However, if you still have questions, you're still welcome to use that Q&A, and we'll stay on and get your questions answered. Thanks, y'all. Have a great rest of your day.